Staying with commodities, I want to bring in my co-host for the next hour, Alix, as we check on how prices settled in New York trading. WTI closing out Tuesday higher right now. And Alix, I guess we could say that it is also partly a knee-jerk reaction to the dollar as well. Though the dollar, I mean, it had some direction yesterday. It just took a while to settle on that direction.
Right, and we had a little bit of a sell-off recently, so there's climbing back there. All in all, though, it's a very much of a risk-on day in the market, so perhaps contributing to the oil price there. The real interesting part to me in the oil world right now is Iran. It seems like the deadline for a nuclear deal has now been extended to July 7th to get that final text, and Citi thinks an agreement could be reached in the summer. There's about a 60 to 70% chance this summer, which means exports could ramp up in the first quarter of 2016. The fascinating conversation to me about oil is how much can Iran really bring on realistically without investments from international oil companies. And Citi's saying it's really just about 500,000 to 700,000 barrels in 3 to 4 months. Iran's hoping for 1 million plus, so it's definitely less than you would have thought. Definitely less than you would have thought, absolutely. And how much of that's going to be oil versus condensate, which is plentiful also in the market. And will there actually be a market to sell to? I mean, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Iraq have been competing hardcore in China, where Iran usually has a good stronghold. So is there going to be the demand? These questions sort of percolating now. Fascinating.
There's more questions than there are answers, certainly. We're also looking at corn and soybeans, some of the soft commodities. What have you found there?
Well, the USDA had their report out, and basically this is just about supply and demand and planting dynamics. So basically farmers are planting less corn. That's why you saw corn spike today. There is more demand also for corn, so that's part of it. And soybeans, an opposite story. They're planting more fields of soybean, but inventories and the acreage that they're going to plant trailed forecast. So it's sort of like farmers want to plant soybeans more profitable at the expense of corn. Story of the last year.
Absolutely. All right, Alix, stay with me here because I want to keep you on for this next story on cocoa prices.
I'm hungry.
Get your thoughts.
I'm hungry.
According to Euromonitor International, global demand for chocolate is on the increase, but the industry continues to face a lot of challenges, particularly surrounding production, weather, economics, and politics. Just that.
Yeah, just a few things.
As a result, chocolate makers are raising their prices. They're also making smaller bars, so it doesn't look like they're raising prices, but you're getting less for your money each time.
Yeah, so the reason why we're seeing the spike in cocoa prices is twofold. One, you have to look at Ecuador. It's the world's biggest grower of these beans, and they're really struggling right now. You got a lot of heavy rain, hurting about 15% of the cocoa crop. On the other hand, you have West Africa, which is having some flooding problems of its own as well. You got floods blocking roads, leaving cocoa pods literally rotting on the trees. So that's creating a supply shortfall. At the same time, demand is super hot in areas of Asia, for example, and that's leading to creative ways, like you said, for producers to deal with the rising costs. So here's really expensive chocolate, so you'll pay more, like the premium
brands.
Here's a bag with a little bit of chocolate, but it looks fancy, so you'll be able to charge more. That kind
or they're adding other things into the chocolate,
right.
like I'm thinking Rice Krispies. What are those Krispies, where you have like a little bits of rice in them, popped rice?
Sure.
You know, just adding things, making it less pure chocolate, so that you can keep the prices higher. But
and other companies, of course, have been trying to do more vertical, so they're trying to introduce their own cocoa crops so they can sort of cut down on costs. But this is not going to go away necessarily anytime soon.
All right, so stock up and start hoarding your chocolate.